All right, we are live. I think I've done a lot of lives this week. Maybe it's like the last week and a half. I don't know. I've just gotten it's like the floodgates have opened. I think this issue of supply shortages, or this era of supply shortages, is over. So stuff is coming in fast and furious. And this, I just got in. I paid for this, in case you're wondering. This is the Pixel tablet, brand new, just came out. And they announced it like a year ago. It shows you how long it's been taking everybody to get this stuff out there. So we're going to be taking a look at this thing and putting it through its paces, see what it's all about. So that's what we're going to do today. And what I'm doing right now is just getting myself organized. Because as usual, I didn't get all my stuff arranged before we got started here. But I'm ready to go now. So yeah, this is brand new. And this is like, so the deal with this tablet is, in some ways, I think it's inspired by what Amazon has been doing with theirs, which is to make the tablet into a home assistant. So you can take it off the stand or put it on, or keep it on the stand, whichever you want to do. And so what you get in the box is the tablet and the stand. And we'll see what it's all about. So there you go. Brian Scott is here, and NC Strev is here. And all the cool kids got theirs already. I am no longer cool. They used to send me this stuff when, with the other people. I don't get their stuff anymore. So I had to buy it like everybody else, which is fine. All right, so let's open it up, and let's see what we've got in the box here. And then we'll test it out. I don't have a lot of time. I've got a little bit of time, but we'll figure it out. And Brian Scott Jr. is here. And I'm actually curious to see what kind of viewership this live stream gets, because I'm curious as to what the interest level is with this tablet. So remember, Google said we're out of the tablet business. We're just going to focus on Chromebooks. That lasted a year, and now they're back in the tablet business again. Doo-doo. All right, we're making progress here. So here's the tablet part. And I forgot what color I got. They got one color they call porcelain, which, that's not what this color is. But I don't know. Whenever I hear the word porcelain, I think of a toilet. I don't know about you all. But, yeah, looks okay. Bezels are maybe a little bigger than I would like. To some degree, it kind of reminds me of the Nest Home device. I don't know if it reminds you of that. And then in here, press and hold the power button. And then here's the charging thing. So we got that. Here is the power adapter for the United States, of course. Ah, look at that. No USB-C on that. And actually, there is a USB-C port on the tablet. So we will experiment with that. And this is not wireless charging either. So, yeah, Jim Lewis says it looks like an iPad 2. Yeah, I think it does kind of look like that. That's very true. And Zane wants to figure out a way to get one of these to South Africa. I can ship it to you after I review it. Does it have SD card support? I will find out. I don't think it does, but let's take a look and see. So this is the base. Let me get my camera adjusted here, and I will show you how it kind of links up there. So it is not like a MagSafe kind of thing, but at least it comes with it. Because how often do the accessories not come with it? But I don't see a pen, so I don't know if it's pen compatible. I don't know. I don't know a lot about this thing, to be honest with you. We used to get all sorts of product briefings on this stuff, and they've kind of rolled back their program. They used to send out a ton of these things. So, it just kind of sticks. Oh, that's kind of neat. Oops. It's kind of neat how it goes on, because when you put it on, I don't have it plugged in yet, but it feels like it kind of latches. It feels like it latches on. It's a magnet, but it doesn't have like that sticky magnet feel. It's almost like a physical bump you feel. It like bumps into place. It's kind of wild. But it doesn't always go in automatically when you get it on there. Let's try it again here. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. So Zane uses a Samsung tablet in his living room. It's always plugged in on a tablet stand. Its sole purpose is to run Home Assistant. I have to get into Home Assistant. All you Home Assistant people have been making me interested in this. And you haven't missed much yet. We just took it out of the box. So we're getting started here. So this is what it looks like from the side. Let me pull this away here. So yeah, it almost looks exactly like a larger Google Home, except you've got a tablet. So let's plug this charger in, and then we'll see what else we can do with this thing. I don't see, I don't think I see an SD card slot. Oh, do I? No, I don't. No. Nope. And actually what it looks like here is you've got, excuse me, you have two rubber feet, which is weird because I don't know why you would need that if it sits above. We'll find out. Okay, so here we go. We got Google, powered by Android. So this is, I think, correct me if I am wrong, I think this is the first Google tablet. We had that Google Chromebook tablet that was a total flop, right? But I don't know if they've made a tablet before. And Jay, yeah, with Google, everything eventually gets in there. So we'll see what happens. Sweet Caroline is joining us. Thanks for stopping by. I could pen test it. Yes, I do have a pen, and I could security penetrate test it too, right? James is curious about the tablet, but I'm not sure he trusts Google's quality control. But yeah, it's got pogo pins on the back here, so it is not capacitive. So let me set this up real quick, and then we will begin in earnest here. I've got to connect it to my Wi-Fi and do all that stuff. I will say the display looks nice. It does look like a nice display. So let me type my Wi-Fi password in here, and then we'll see what happens. It definitely has a more modern Android look to it. So it's got, kind of what you're seeing on the Pixel phones when you first boot them up. And I will test that. I think it's not too hard. I just don't want to pull it off if this dock is doing something. I don't think it is. We'll pull it off real quick, see what happens. You know what? You do have to hold down the dock. Yeah, you got to hold it down. The dock will come with it unless you hold it down on the desk. So you can't just grab it from the top. And it didn't come with much of a charge here either, so I'm going to leave it on here to charge it up. All right, so it wants me to copy apps and data. I'm not going to copy the apps and data. I want to start from scratch on this one. And it's checking my info. And we'll see what else we get. Everybody wants me to run Home Assistant. I got to learn Home Assistant now, huh? And yep, it just came out. And I think this is the plan, is to make these tablets, because it does look exactly like a Nest thing, doesn't it? All right, so now I've got to get my Google account logged in here. What's cool is that my passkeys are finally working. So that's going to make this a lot easier, because I have that super long password from Bitwarden. Oh, no, it's wanting, let me try another way. Can I use a passkey? Ooh, I cannot use passkeys. My only way in is to use my password. Yeah, that's it. Enter your password. So buckle up. I've got to get my stupid long password going here. I just logged in with a passkey from a PC a little while ago, and that was super easy. But my regular password is so long that you're going to be waiting here for a few minutes. Par for the course on my, oh, wait a minute. I can use my security key, which I have. Bear with me. I'll be right back. I got to get my security key, which is in my backpack. Ugh. so I can use the security key. That'll be a little bit easier. And let's see if that will work. And I'm bringing the whole backpack down with me because if I don't, I will lose the security key. So let's try that out real quick. All right. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. I don't want to recover my account. No, I still have to type my password and see. Next. It was asking me to do an account recovery, so I still have to type the password in. All right, never mind. All right, so I'm just going to type my password in here. At least I got to go upstairs for a second. And then I will get the rest of this thing going. And the worst part is, where is the upward little tilde guy? There we go. A little upward. Ah, shoot. Yeah. I don't know why they wouldn't take passkeys. It's a Google product. Wouldn't you think passkeys would be part of the deal? I mean, I took the time to set it up. They're all gung-ho on these things. Maybe it needs an update for passkey support. But with these things, though, once you get them booted up, that's it. All right, where is the stupid... I need the little tilde guy, and I can't find it again. Not the tilde, the upward thing. Hang on. I'm starting to feel old. Getting confused by technology. I feel like my dad here. Let's see. And in fairness to him, the technology is confusing. Yeah, where'd that character go? So bear with me, everybody. I'm just going to get my password typed in here, and then we will continue onward. I'm going crazy. There we go. Okay, now I got it. They put some of these characters in a weird place. But I'm typing my huge, long password in because it doesn't work with passkeys. That might be something to talk about. The worst part is when I got to type this in on my televisions. I had to do that. So when I changed my Google password after the LastPass debacle, all of my Android TVs got logged out, and I had to go through this process on the remote control. It was brutal. If I didn't like my NVIDIA Shield so much, I would have... All right, let's see if it takes that. All right, we're good. And now it wants my security key. So where did the... Oh no, is my security key not in here? Where did it go? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. So I thought I had my security key with me. Where did it go? Great. I don't know where it went. This might be a short stream, everybody. This is the problem. Like when you lose your security key, you're stuck, right? I have two-factor authentication. I've got all that stuff, but the security key was living in my bag, but it's not in there now. Where the heck did it go? I wonder if I put it in my other bag? Let me see if it's in this one. This is my problem, is that I put things away, or I don't put things away when I'm supposed to, and they go missing, and then I'm like looking around for them all the time. But this is where we're at now. Like, you can't get into your own technology. And then the security key doesn't have it doesn't work like the Apple AirTag works, so you don't know where the heck it is. All right, let me try another way. Maybe I can hit my phone. Okay, we can get a one-time tap yes on my phone. Okay, that'll work. All right, so there we go. Sorry, everybody. I'm just not... I struggle to get into my own accounts. If it just worked with passkeys, I wouldn't have to go through all this, right? But we've made progress, so we're getting there. Okay. And let me go back. I got some questions that I'm going to have to answer because I have been completely enveloped in this whole thing here. All right. I'm accepting all the stuff here. Oh, that was the other thing. It's asking me for a PIN code. I think it's got a fingerprint reader on it. We'll see in a second. It does. Okay, so it does have fingerprint unlock. And I got a question on Amazon from Amda Brown. What would be the equivalent iPad, an Air Mini, etc.? I think what we'll do is I will run the wildlife benchmark test on this first, and that should give us an idea as to how this works or what it compares to. My sense is that it has a Google Tensor chip inside, and so this would, the Tensor is a good chip, but it's not anywhere near the M1 that you'd find in the Air. So it'll be interesting to see what we get for benchmark results on this. All right. Yeah, but so far the onboarding has been okay. Just that you got to have all your Google account stuff ready. And I'm getting spoiled because on the PC I can use the passkeys, which I really like. Have it on my phone. You just pop it in and you're good to go. All right, almost there. It's kind of tedious also on the fingerprint. And I'm doing this finger, but when I hold the tablet, I'm probably going to want to use this one because the power switch is on the left-hand top side here. So I'm not going to put you through that. Let's just get going here. All right, so now we're checking. I've already got my assistant set up. And what else does it do? Hang on one second. Anything else? Identify music around you? Okay. Yeah, that looks pretty handy. Control info on the lock screen. Get instant translations. Change how text displays. All right, we'll just go with just that one. That one's kind of neat. Thanks. Okay. Yeah, I think I need to put an AirTag on my security key. Yeah, so my security key is currently missing. I don't know what I did with it. So it's not, I keep it in my bag and it's not there. And yeah, I believe this is my understanding is that this has the Tensor chip. So I've got a few more, but I only have one that supports Bluetooth on that. All right, swipe to navigate, learn the gestures. Okay, so let's try it. So swipe to go home. That's very iPad-like, right? All right. Swipe to go back. Okay. Switch apps. Okay. All right, we know the interface. So this is largely kind of mirroring what we're seeing on some of the more modern tablets here. All right, do more while your tablet is docked in hub mode. All right, let's set up hub mode. All right, choose your screensaver. I use this one upstairs. We have one of those Google things in my kitchen. And we can select some photos. I've stopped sending photos up there because they charge you for the space now. So, all right, let's get this going here. All right, hang on. Let me just get the rest of this thing configured. All right, getting our device ready here. Yeah, I heard that, Chris. They found debris on the floor. The ocean floor. They just announced it. Looks like they had a pressure loss. All right, this is working a lot like the regular Nest Hub works. All right, hub mode is all set. Okay. All right, so here we are. So first thing I notice here is Google TV. So what does this do? Well, okay. Is this like Google TV, Google TV? Or is it looking for, what's it searching for? Oh, I see. It will control my Google TV, but it is not itself a Google TV. Well, that's kind of disappointing. I kind of would like it to be a Google TV. So if I want to watch the session here, what happens? So this will pull up the Max app. So it's kind of like Google TV, but not really, huh? So this has got the Google Tensor Gen 2. Okay. Yeah, they said it was the wreckage there. So they identified, I guess, the tail cone, and they found a bunch of debris that was consistent with it, unfortunately. All right, so we are in. I'm just trying to get a feel for what you can do on this. This is all your, so it's very much like Android-ish. So how do you get it into like the hub mode? So I'm not seeing my pictures. Maybe that comes up as a screensaver. I don't know. Let me detach it and reattach it and see what happens. All right, so detached, reattach. Oops, I didn't get it. There we go. Now we're attached. Okay, so now it's attached, but it doesn't look like it automatically goes into hub mode. All right, so let's see what that's about here. Hub mode. Okay, so let's see what hub mode is about. Okay, so, oh, so maybe hub mode is when you have it locked. So let's try that. So let me go out of here, and I'll turn it off. Oh yeah, there we go. So that's pretty cool. All right, so if you have a Google device, I would suggest you mute it, okay? So I just want to see how this works. So I guess when it's locked, which is kind of nice, when it's locked, it's in hub mode. So if we say, all right, so I'm going to mute your device. Hey, Google, show me the front door camera. Let's see if we get it.
Something went wrong controlling the front door doorbell. The front door doorbell has low battery.
It doesn't have low battery. It's telling me I have a low battery out front, so I can't do that. All right, let's see. Okay, so it did pull up my pictures of my kids. Hey, Google, show me the weather in New York City today.
Today in New York City, there will be scattered showers with a forecasted high of 68 and a low of 64.
All right, so it does that.
And now it's 68 degrees and cloudy.
Hey, Google, turn the studio lights off.
Sorry, it looks like the studio table lamp isn't available right now.
Wrong one. What do I call that one? I got to look up in my Wise thing what it's called here. So it's called, okay. Hey, Google, turn off the studio group.
Nothing's playing right now.
Never mind. I have my Wise connected to this thing, but it doesn't. Hey, Google, turn off the studio group lights.
Sorry, I didn't understand.
All right, well, she's not that smart these days. The display looks nice, though. I will give it that. Oops. And then how do you get back in? So the only thing how do I unlock it here? Okay, so I got to type the pin. There we go. How do I get, see, it just brings me right back to that screen there. All right, so let me dial my password in here again. And now it's going through this whole thing again here. All right, so now it's setting up Google Home. Oh, I see. So it brought me into this, and that's not what I wanted. All right, so maybe that's why it didn't work. And you know what? It's thinking of my Nest camera, which is not the one I wanted it to look at. All right, so now I'm back at the home. This is kind of confusing, to be honest with you. All right, so right now it's locked. If I put my finger on it, what happens? Oh, so now it's back to Android. Okay, so that I like. So here we are. We're in the lock screen. It works like a Google Nest device. There we go. Now, what is my doorbell camera called? I have a Wise one. That's the one I've been using. Front doorbell. All right. So let's like lock it here. Hey, Google, show me the front doorbell camera. Hey, Google, show me the front doorbell camera.
Got it, but first you'll have to unlock your device.
Really? All right, so let's do... No, so now it's pulling up the camera. That's not what I wanted. Hey, Google, show me the front doorbell camera.
All right, streaming the front
Here we
doorbell
go.
camera.
That took only 12 requests, but we're getting there. Now let's see if we get it. Yeah, so it looks like that now that I've done that, it seems to be working. But it's taken a while to get it going. I can test this with Google Meet. Although, does Google, I guess Google Meet is on, that's not working. All right, well, we'll have to test that later. Let's try the lights again. Hey, Google, turn the studio group lights off.
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Yeah. All right, well, it's the usual Google stuff. All right, so that seems to be what it is. I'm curious, though, about its performance. So why don't we jump into the Google Play Store. And actually, maybe what I should do first is look and see if it has any updates waiting for me. So let's go, and there were some questions about what version of Android it has. So let's go to the About here, the system. So it is running on, so it's got a security update, and it's running Google Android 13. And it's installing a 200 megabyte security update. Yeah, I guess you're right. I've had better luck with the A word these days. Can you connect this to a tablet? Yes, I will test that. I don't know if it will or not, but we can find out soon. Sure, that I can't even talk anymore. I'm like totally out of it. So let's get this going. So I will plug in my dock here and see if it will connect with the dock. So let's see what happens. So I'm going to take it off this, and let me plug my dock in. Let's see what we get. All right, so now we've got the dock plugged in. So it did recognize that it's charging. And I've got one of these multi-function docks, right? So it does it all. But does it do video output? I would doubt it, but yeah, I don't think it does video output. Yeah, so it did detect the Ethernet on the dock, but it did not detect the HDMI that I have plugged into it. So let's put it back on here and wait for it to update. And I don't know the answer to that. I will check and see. I think it's going to do everything that the Google Nest does. Yeah, generally it's been fine. You know, I've been what I did. So here's what I did is that, as many of you know, I have a lot of, you know, my daily drivers are mostly Apple stuff, and so what I've been using is Siri, because I can connect it now with with that Docker container that I installed. So even my non-Apple devices or the non-HomeKit compatible devices are compatible with it. So let's wait for the security update to go and we'll figure it out. Yeah, I think Google's really struggling there. Like they're trying to get Bard up to speed. You know, it's getting better. They've made some improvements with it, but I'm finding that ChatGPT is much better. And I'm looking at the use case that I do with it, which is I have it summarize the transcripts of my YouTube videos, and Bard does not do as good of a job as ChatGPT does. Yeah, I was fearful that that was going to happen. So the magnet feels okay. I mean, it's pretty strong, almost too strong, because you have to hold. So I can't just take it off. I mean, if I shook it hard enough, I could. But there's no, like, it doesn't feel all that elegant to get it off the dock. I guess you lift it from the bottom is what you have to do. It's a little hard to get it situated. You got to really get it on because it's trying to connect with these pogo plugs. So it's not like, it's not like one of those Apple things where the magnet kind of aligns it. It tries to. Travis Rhodes is here. Hello there. Kevin Wools is here. Thanks for stopping by. Commodore says his Nest is getting. Yeah, what's funny is mine doesn't like my wife. Like I don't have it set to only listen for my voice, but whenever she talks to it, it never does what she wants. Yeah, and I bet you that's probably the case there, James. It doesn't look to me as though it has an array microphone. Although it does appear to have stereo speakers. And I'm curious to see what the sound is like when you flip it over. So we'll test that out in a little bit too. I just want to get this update done and then we'll mess around with it. All right, so let it finish updating here. I mean, all that said, I mean, it's an attractive tablet. Although I think some of you are going to complain about the bezels. And it's not cheap. So it's about double what that Amazon tablet cost that we looked at last week. All right, let's see what happens here. Just waiting. It's a big update. It's only 200 megabytes, but it's taken it a while. That's true. Bard does. Was it Bard that was generating the Windows the Windows serial numbers? It might be it. And Josh has the same problems with his wife getting on there. Yeah, I guess the pogo plugs work better. I mean, it'll align and charge. You could probably push more power through them too. And I don't own the Tab S8, so I'll have to rely, after we run the benchmarks, maybe some of you can look up similar results and see what we get. The color looks great. In fact, when I lock it here, so when you lock it, it converts into the home mode. So it looks pretty good. Like, this is actually a good photo because it's got good contrast. We got Kylo Ren there. This was after our second daughter was born. It's funny, my wife is thinner now and I'm heavier, so we flipped. We can do more different pictures here. Yeah. That one is now 10, by the way. So these are older pictures because I stopped sending pictures up to Google. So she's now 7 and this one is now 10, and this was from 2018, so it's a couple years back. Yeah, she's gotten big. Oh, it's scary how fast all this goes by. All right, so then I have to go up here to unlock. And then what? I'm still a little confused by how that's supposed to work. So I lock it, and then I hit the thing here. Okay, then it brought me back. Yeah, it does look pretty good. I would say what you just saw on camera looks close to what I'm seeing here. Yeah, that was the funny thing. Now, were those keys getting calculated? Like, did it crack the code, or was it just regurgitating what was in its database? That's what I'm curious about. And Michael says, all right, so maybe what I'll do is, as this is going, I'm sure I could probably install some stuff. So let's at least get some of our apps going here. So let's go to the 3D Mark. So I do want to run that first. So we'll throw 3D Mark on here and get that. Oh my good. So the 3D Mark benchmark won't run on this device, it says. So you know what we're going to have to do? We're going to have to sideload that sucker. Why won't it work on this device? Is it the Tensor chip? All right, let me go back to, all right, so let me go back in here and type in so I have it on my NAS locally here, so. And 3D, let's see how hard it is to sideload. Because I do have it in there. So, okay, so it's downloading the APK. I feel like there's a lot of wasted space here at the top. You got like this big black bar, and then you got the tab thing. I guess I can make it full screen somewhere. All right, so let me go over to my file thing. And that's not looking too good there. Downloads. And I think I could probably allow it to sideload. There we go. Solve that problem, I think. All right, it's installed. So there you go. You can sideload, in case you're wondering. And before I run the benchmark, though, I do want to check the security update. Oh, now it's installing it. Wasn't that bar over here before? Google has hinted they may bring a keyboard and stylus later. Yeah, I bet you they're probably looking to see how well this thing sells. And I bet you that by the end of the year, Bard is going to be integrated into the Assistant at some point. That makes a lot of sense. And they have the hardware and all those Android phones out there. So yeah, I'll do a spec sheet for this eventually. I probably won't start it now because I don't have a ton of time today. Yeah, no SD slot. You could probably, you could plug storage into the port here, on the USB-C port, but it'll stick out. Yeah, so I think that's the value proposition, is that you get the dock with it. So on the Amazon side, you'd have to pay extra for that. And let me get the brightness is full blast here. And what else can we install on here while we're waiting? Well, now it's optimizing. Yeah, the thing was, like, I could either get everything installed and not stream, or just stream with you all, which is what I decided to do. And let's see what apps I have. Oh my goodness, there's 45 apps pending. This one has 128 gigabytes of storage. And this is kind of the problem with all this stuff, is that you tend to, when you get this thing, you've got all these updates that run in the background. And I guess it's true of any device, really. And you spend so much time getting it updated that your first impression of the device is not always good, because, like here is an example. Like, it's telling me you can't install Chrome. Why not? It's not good because your performance is degraded while all this stuff has to get installed when you first get it going, right? Now, you won't see Thunderbolt on this. They didn't license that. But they could do USB 4, but I don't think there would be a need to do that. Yeah, that's the other thing. Actually, we could check that out because I'm curious how the stereo audio works. So if I go over to YouTube here and oops, what am I doing? No. I didn't mean to do that. So if I go to YouTube and do stereo left, right. Yeah.
Warning, this video contains flashes and moving images.
So where's the audio? Is it coming out of the dock? I don't think it is. Maybe it is. I think it comes out of the dock. So you don't get any stereo when it's docked. All right, so it's going left, right here. Okay, so we're getting left, right out of it here, okay? So I'm hearing left over here. And then, okay, so stereo in this orientation. So what about when you switch it this way? All right, so getting left. The speakers on this do not sound very good, if I'm being honest. Okay, so the good news is, yeah, all right, so all right, so the good news is that when you switch the orientation, so you got speakers on the left and the right. So it sounds the best in this orientation for obvious reasons. But is there a camera on the back? Yeah. When you flip it to landscape or portrait, from landscape to portrait, it will adjust the orientation of the sound so that when the speakers are oriented top and bottom, it will direct the audio left and right based on how you have it. And I could hear it shift when I did that. So that was good. So that's a positive. And that's something the iPads do. All right, so stereo audio will shift based on orientation. But when it's docked, the dock here has a speaker in it. And so that takes over when it's docked. And I guess they're selling, you can buy additional docks. So you can put them in different rooms and dock the tablet in different rooms. But when it's docked, no stereo. So it's only when you've got it off the dock that the actual speakers appear to work. That's at least that's what my impressions are so far. Yeah, so we got to wait for this update to finish before we can actually test it to see how fast it really is. Especially with these Google devices, because they obviously finish the hardware before everything gets completed. Gosh, it's going to take forever. Yeah, so Metal Crip here says that, and I think that's exactly it. If you're using the Nest tablet right now, this is a huge upgrade, right? Because you get the same core functionality when it's docked. Okay, let's try something here. I want to see. So I'm going to put the HD Home Run app on here. And I'm also curious how YouTube TV might work with it. So let me do that, because my mom's account I could probably connect to it. All right, so we gotta wait for it to update here. Yeah, so I think compared to the iPad, the screen looks great. I'm actually really curious about the performance versus the iPad. That's what I'm most curious about. But it's got a very nice display on board. All right, so mute your devices again. So I'm going to make a request. I'm going to turn off, so I'm going to lock it. All right, so now it's locked. Hey, Google, load the HD Home Run app.
I don't know, but I found these results on.
Really? It's on here. So you do get more of a browser interface on search. So that's something. Hey Google, load the HD home run.
I don't know, but I found these results on search.
Hey Google, load HD home run.
I don't know, but I found these results on search.
All right, so let's go out of this mode. Let's unlock and see if it does it this way. Hey Google, load HD home run. Yeah, so you have to unlock first to get into it. I was trying to think, like, if I was in the kitchen, could I call up my TV like that? Apparently not. So let's go back to, let's see how well it tunes TV. What's going on? This should be on right now, right? What time is it? It is almost 4 o'clock. Huh. Acting a little strange here. All right, so
now I'm going to get down onto the floor to show you another.
okay, so I'm able to watch. This is through the Android app, so it can tune TV, no problem. I'm curious if my DRM is hit here in our market yet. Let's pull up WVIT. Nope, seems to be working so far. So yeah, so you can use this little TV. The problem is you can't load an Android app from the lock screen. So that's that. But this is coming in over the air from my antenna. Isn't that cool? And that's what's great about these network TV tuners is that no matter where you are in your house, this is the HD home run, no matter where you are in your house, you can pull stuff up. So this is our minor league baseball stadium. This is the Yard Goats. I took my kids to a game there the other day. It was a lot of fun. And that's my buddy Ryan. I know him. He's the weatherman. What's this little gear icon do up here? Live translate and live caption. So what is that? So let me back out of here. So where does it do that? I think I didn't enable that. Let me see. So I could do, is it through the app or is it through something else? I'll try live translate. Hey Google, live translate.
What language do you want translated?
English to Spanish.
Got it. I'll be your interpreter.
How are you doing?
¿Cómo estás?
What time is it?
¿Qué hora es?
And it just went away. Okay, it says, I need to learn some Spanish here. ¿Cómo estás? Yeah, it just like dropped out. Hey Google, live translate.
What language do you want translated?
English to Spanish.
Okay, I'll be your interpreter.
¿Cómo estás?
How are you?
It like drops out super quick, so it doesn't seem to be working very well. Oh, it's through the volume rocker. Should be a button below the volume slider that appears on screen when you start adjusting the buttons. There's a power button up there. I don't see any other button by the volume rocker. Live caption is accessed through the volume rocker. Should be a button below the volume slider that appears on screen. Oh, I see. When you adjust the
Hay un botón de encendido
Oh, I see.
ahí arriba.
Oh.
No veo ningún otro botón
There you
como
go.
el control de volumen. El acceso a través del control de volumen.
Got it. Now I understand that. All right, get out of here. All right, so if we go this button here, I guess. Oh, this is it. Okay, so that's on now. So what happens now? Okay, so that button's That button's enabled, so what's supposed to happen now when I talk? Anything? Oh, live translate, I'm playing a video. Oh, should I play, so I should have it play one of my videos? Okay, so let's try that. I don't know how to enable that on a video. You got to give me a little bit more here. Do you want it inside of YouTube or? Yeah, I'm having the same thought on this TL. It's just like it feels like two different products to me. So I lock it. I mean, I like the seamlessness here that I'm locked. I'm a Google whatever. What is confusing though is that I can't break through to the other side. Like if I want to load up my TV app, I don't want to have to walk over and unlock it necessarily, right? Yeah, there you go. We're going to have Spanish dubbings of every language. Give me the language, we'll do it. All right, so let me try loading up YouTube here. Maybe it does it in YouTube. We'll play one of my videos. Why don't we do this one live and see if it does that? Like if I want to load up my TV app, okay, so I don't want to have to walk over and. Oh, live caption is necessarily, right? Okay, so what does this do? Okay, so live caption in. Here we go. Of every language. Give me the language, we'll do it. All right, so I'm going to do Spanish. All right, so let me try loading up YouTube here. Maybe it does it in YouTube. We'll play one of my videos. All right, so we're going to actually do. This is like Spaceballs. This is now. What about then? It was just now. Okay, so it's downloading here. All right, it's still downloading the dictionary here. So once it's done doing that, we can test it out. And I do appreciate this, Leo, because this is the kind of stuff that I wouldn't have thought to look at. This is now. What about then? It was just now. And now with this delay, like the delay from this is 30 seconds behind, and by the time you get it, it's like a minute behind or more. Still downloading the dictionary here, so once it's done doing that, we can test it out. Oh, here it is. And I do appreciate this, Leo, because this is the kind of stuff that I wouldn't have thought to look at. And now with this delay, like the delay from this is 30 seconds behind, and by the time you get it, it's like a minute behind or more. It's pretty good. It's actually picking up the background audio too. They do give you the warning that this uses a lot more battery. And we're still waiting for Spanish to download. All right, so we just have to wait for it to finish downloading. It's pretty good. It's actually picking up the background audio too. And now you're seeing it on, on the live stream. And we're still waiting for Spanish to download. At what point do I say I'm surrounded by a-holes here, right? You have to know the movie, though. When did it happen? Just now. That was then. I'm inclined to do a speed test on this afterward. Yeah, it's going to go. It's going to keep like going into the inception. When did it happen? Just now. All right, we'll have to wait for that Spanish. And I think if I click off of that Spanish thing, it stops working. But I will put that on the list of things to demonstrate when that's going. But yeah, home mode feels as limited as it does on all the other stuff that I have used with Google. And now I can't get rid of that. How do I turn this? Turn it off. Okay. That's kind of neat, though. I like that. I like that it does that. All right, let me zoom my camera back out here. Oops. Yeah, so I'm going to need to do a little bit more work on this. The good news is that things seem to work. So when I'm in Android mode, I can load an app up, but I can't. So if I lock it, let's try this. Hey, Google, load YouTube. Oh, it does that. It wants me to unlock, though. Okay, so I got to walk over and unlock. Okay, so Can it do HD home run? Hey Google, load HD home run. So it's funny, it knows YouTube, but it doesn't know another app that is on there. There we go. That's another thing. YouTube refuses to fix this thing. I have emailed, I get told it's being escalated to engineering and whatever, and this is YouTube's 55-minute bug. Doesn't impact the Amazon viewers. James is joining us. Hello there. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure this thing out. Now, the other thing I'm waiting on is all of these updates to come down. So let's go back to system. I mean, from the tablet standpoint, it feels nice. Like, it feels as polished as all of the other Android tablets do. All right, so let's let that finish up here. It's almost done, I think. And I think the other apps are those done updating or not? Let's see. I mean, I will say from a usability perspective, it feels like a nice Android tablet. Like it's got that modern feel to it. It doesn't feel like those, like all those Android tablets we've looked at over the years, they always felt short of what they could be. This one feels more Android-y, if that makes sense. And it feels a lot like, it's responsive. It feels a lot like my Pixel phones feel like. You can do split screen. All right, so let's let that security update finish, and then we will run our benchmark on this sucker after it I'm assuming it's going to need to reboot after it's done with that. Yeah, I think that's kind of what it's like here. So what happens on YouTube is that, and it doesn't happen every time, but most times it does. For whatever reason, my streams at 55 minutes get knocked off of YouTube. It just turns me off. And I think the reason is that I am at 4K going to them. So I'm streaming up at like 30 megabits per second. So I'm guessing there's probably I'm probably one of the few that does that. But everybody else can if they wanted to. So I do have a USI 2 stylus, as a matter of fact. So I could try that real quick. In fact, it should be, oh, here it is. I bought this when I got the Amazon one, but this is USI 2 compatible, so it should just work, right? And this is the Amazon stylus, and it's not that expensive. It's like 35 bucks. Just got to put your quadruple A battery in there. All right, so now we got the thing in here. Let's see if it, oh, yeah, this works right out of the gate. Perfect. Well, that's good. I'll add that to my list of, I'm glad I got this. Because this is the Amazon stylus pen. Look, it's even got the made for Amazon on it. But because it's USI 2.0, it's a standard. So I can just put it onto whatever I want. Very cool. Oops. So that's good. I'll add that to the mix of things to look at. Yeah, I was going to sell this along with the Amazon tablet, but I think I'll hold on to this because it's standards-based. So that's pretty cool. And I would imagine with the Pogo plugs that there's hope for keyboards on this, that they'd have some kind of dock for a keyboard. And I guess it's going to depend on how many they sell, really. Still waiting. Will the old Pixel Slate stylus work with it? I might have one of those around here somewhere. I'll have to look and see. That's a good question. And Rob says that if you have a, yeah, I guess there's probably some value to that argument. You know, it's funny, I don't notice it as much. Like, it feels pretty smooth and responsive to me on here. But I could see, like, how it might feel a little more sluggish. Yeah, so I was surprised by that too, because I was looking around for a generic one, and then I was like, well, let me see what theirs costs, because I thought, you know, it'd probably be $100. No, it's $35. It's got one side button, and it's USI compatible. So whatever you got that's got USI, it's going to work with it. So I need to add that to the mix here. All right, let me see what we've got going on here. I got a jet in about 20 minutes. These updates take forever. I mean, it's not even that big of an update. It's only 200 megabytes, but it's taken a while. App multitasking. Why don't we look at that while this is going? So why don't we pull up, I'll pull up YouTube. And then I can do the split screen. I'm not sure if there's a better gesture for this. But I'll put that up. I don't know if HD Home runs. Oh, it does support it. Look at that. Yeah, this will be a good test. We'll test over-the-air TV along with YouTube at the same time. That seems to be working pretty well. Oh, that got frozen. There it goes. Yeah, so this is my over-the-air TV, and then this is YouTube going at the same time. So I got my channel guide. I can switch to the other guide here if I want. It's actually playing audio out of both at the same time here also. And I can kill one and just go back that way. That's pretty good. And then it actually tells you somewhere, where did it tell me that before? It was telling me which apps were active. It was showing me that somewhere. I can't remember where I saw that. Pull up on the multitask bar. All right, here's the better gesture. Then you can drag an icon. Oh, okay, so if I pull up the multitask bar, or just right here. Okay, so if I grab YouTube, I can pull, oh, I see, I can pull it. Does it do it? No, it doesn't seem to do that. Can I do it this way, maybe? Or I can just grab the icon. Oh no, I don't want to do that. Let's see. Oh, I see. So you can split, just by hitting the app, you can do that. That's easy enough. Throw that on the right. And throw this one on the left. And it's requesting desktop sites by default. And it will work in group mode for audio. Cool. Yeah, so that's one of the home features that carries over from it. Yeah, and my cameras don't do well with white, like really bright white screens. So that's part of what you're seeing here. So if you look at, like, the NASA homepage is always a good, that's why I like to look at the NASA homepage, partly because it doesn't have a lot of junk on it, but it has a good contrast to it, and it looks pretty good. What I don't like, though, is just how much wasted space there is at the top of the screen with Chrome. And then you've got on, oops, there's some weirdness that goes on with this. I can move that around. I can't make it bigger, though. Oop. I'll do a short pull on the nav bay. On the nav bay to bring up the floating taskbar. There's a floating taskbar. Is that what this thing is? or that. Meatface is joining us on Amazon once again. And let's see where we're at. I didn't expect this update to take as long as it's been taking, because I really wanted to get this benchmark run on this thing before I had to go. Let's take a look here. Oh my goodness. Oh, I see. It's only in the app. Okay, so if I'm in an app, oh, I see. It pulls up like that. Oh, that's cool. And then I could dock one to the side. So you just don't go up all the way. Oh. That's cool. I like that. So the temperature, it's definitely on the warmer side right now because it's charging through the dock, but it's not alarmingly so. But yeah, it feels fine. I mean, from a tablet standpoint, you know, I think they played it safe on the design, to be honest. Let's take a look at the cameras. So that's the rear camera. It does have a portrait mode, so it takes the front camera for that. It cleaned up my complexion. It made me look nicer. That's cool. You know what I like about the Apple stuff now is if you push and hold on a person, it pulls them right out of the photograph automatically now. Isn't that wild? All right, so let's go and look at the camera settings here. So modes. That's panorama, portrait. With this long exposure? Well, it's got night sight mode also. And I'm wondering if it has astrophotography. That might be kind of fun to play with. I have that on the Pixel phone. And it's got a 2x zoom, but it's a digital zoom on the back. All right, so let's look at the video settings here. Video stabilization is on. So I'll play around with some of that later. Device storage advanced. It's got a dirty lens warning. What I don't see is what resolution, if there's a resolution option for the video. So it's got speech enhancement. That's it. So I got to look up what the specs are on the video. The video does not look good just in the preview here, so I don't know what it's gonna end up doing. Is it plastic or white painted metal? So the front is kind of a glass panel. The back, I don't know what it is. It feels like plastic to me. Yeah, it kind of feels like plastic on the back. Maybe somebody in the know can tell me if it isn't. I've been having a really hard time lately telling the difference between metal and plastic because once it heats up, you know, the metal is so thin that once it heats up, it feels like plastic. Hey, Richard Maxey is here. So my favorite video game system of all time is the ColecoVision. I don't know if any of you have ever had a ColecoVision, but that was my favorite of the 80s. It was the ColecoVision. And I'm a big fan of the Sega Genesis. I like the NES. It's tough to say. It's coated metal. Got it. It's metal. That's why it feels like plastic. It's got a special coating on it, coated aluminum. Yeah, you know what? It does kind of remind me of the Pixel 5 back. That's exactly how I would look at it. So Meatface on the iPhone. Here, I'll show you an example. Let me pull up. All right, so here's a picture. This is on the iPhone now. So here's if you didn't know you could do this, you can. So here's a picture of my daughter and me on a boat, right? And if I hold it down, I think, hang on, it pulls us out of the photo, out of the background's pulled out. And then what it'll do is it'll put this in the clipboard and you can paste it into a document. It does that on the iPhone also, just automatically. Isn't that crazy? So you just got to hold your finger down on it. And there's a million, that's the thing with these things, there's so many gestures that you don't know. So, yeah, Mom's liking YouTube TV. The only thing she's had to do now on a couple of occasions, I get a call from her saying it logged her out. And so what I did is I set up an exit node on Tailscale at her house so I can pop out of her network and just relog her in. So I've been doing that. Oh, that's right, they had a Pac-Man clone on Coleco, right? Wasn't there a lawsuit over that? I can't remember. Does the dock have tape or something at the bottom to attach it to the surface it's standing on? Let me see. I think it's just got like a, it's got one of those rubber feet, so it's got a good grip. The whole bottom is rubber, and then you're, what I don't understand, and maybe this is something they're doing for later, but there are two rubber feet at the bottom of the tablet here, but it sits well above the surface of whatever it's resting on when it's docked. So I'm wondering if this is for something in the future that they're planning. Yeah, nano ceramic coating, got it. Yeah, you know what was amazing about Coleco was that, you know, when you went from the Atari 2600 to that, it was amazing. Like the games were, the resolution of the games was significantly greater, and the arcade ports were awesome. All right, let's go back in and see if we're done updating here or not. It's like watching paint dry. Yeah, that's the other thing. You know, on a Chromebook, you get 8 years now. This is only 3 for updates, and then 5 years of security updates. So that's a good point. Maybe this will lean it up against the wall. That's a good, we should try that. Let's see. Or lean it up against anything, right? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess that's what it's for. I didn't think about that. You can lean it up against anything, as long as it's got enough to, so it's slipping a little bit there, but if you get it positioned correctly, but then you got to take it out of a case if you put it in a case. So I guess that's kind of useful. Then we can redock it here. So the difference between Google TV and YouTube TV. So YouTube TV is a subscription cable service. Google TV is the licensed version of Android TV that they're using on official devices. So I would, you know, liken Google TV to Roku, right, or Apple TV. And then YouTube TV is the service you can subscribe to. Oh, I see. These feet are for, I guess there's a kickstand case, which is separate. I see. Got it. What is my favorite laptop computer? My favorite laptop computer is my MacBook Air, this one. I love this thing. I've never owned a laptop I've liked more than this MacBook Air. Even that includes my MacBook Pro, because this MacBook Air is just amazing. If you watch my recent video, if they start porting more games to it, it's going to be like a real powerhouse of a machine. So I'm running out of time here, folks, unfortunately. So I wanted to show you more, but give me some other stuff I can. Yeah, in fact, the pack-in game with the Coleco was Donkey Kong. And that was when Nintendo, so like that whole thing was crazy because they that lawsuit over Donkey Kong had something to do with the Coleco's release. I can't remember how the whole thing came about. Remember, the makers of King Kong sued Nintendo over that? So it looks like everyone says the kickstand case, yes, maybe it's just for standing it up. I think they're trying to like make this like a lifestyle device, so when you're in the kitchen, you can lean it up against something and it'll hold its own there. All right, so you know what I'm going to do here, because I don't want to give you nothing. So I'm going to download, see, the problem is anything I test on this is not going to be a good indicator of its performance, because we're still updating here. So this is what happens. I'm like, I want to go on and stream. I want to take it out of the box and show everybody how it works. I guess we're seeing how it works. I got enough to understand like the basic functionality of it, but so, you know, it works in this mode like a regular Google Home Nest thing, and then you get into this mode. But it doesn't appear that it can load every app up the same way. You know what? Let's just run the benchmark for the heck of it and just see what happens. Maybe it'll deprioritize the security update. Yeah, let's download Wildlife here real quick. So what are they raising the cost of Game Pass up to? That was not clear to me in the articles. Yeah, it looks like it's just in the middle of the installation process or something. But yeah, it does take a while for it to finish downloading there. So Elm wants to know how to reset a cable modem. I would just unplug it and plug it back in again. That's over on the Amazon side. So perhaps the reason why 3D Mark isn't supported here is that it thinks it's running on a phone. There it goes. Now it's full screen. So let's run this benchmark. And as always, the 3D Mark benchmarks are games that I want to play. So this is running at about 35 frames per second here. And these benchmarks push the hardware a bit. So it's, you're not going to see perfect frame rates out of these things. But I can tell you that the Tensor 2 here is not going to be competitive with the Apple M1 that you'd find on the iPad Air. But I think the iPad Air is more expensive. The iPad Air is basically a MacBook Air in a tablet, at least the M1 MacBook Air. So I don't believe you can force an upgrade from Android TV to Google TV. I think it's something that has to be kind of baked in. And we got a super chat from Chromium. Thank you very much for the super chat. I didn't realize you asked that twice. But yeah, no, unfortunately, you can't force it to do that. I mean, I'm sure there's some way you could sideload the launcher maybe, but there's not an official way to do it. All right, so our score, if you go to Lon.TV/benchmarks, you will see my benchmark page there. And there's a Wildlife tab at the bottom. Now, to put this into perspective, this is coming in at 6,000. And again, we're running an update in the background. So before my review, I'm going to rerun it just to make sure that there's no background task that's killing it. But this is pretty much in line with the Apple A13 chip, which was in the 9th generation iPad. And it's close to what I saw on the Pixel 7 Pro phone. So I'm thinking this is going to be pretty close to what the final number will be on it. And so that's 6,579, 39.4 FPS. So it's nowhere near where you're going to get with, you know, kind of a current iPad. But the entry-level iPad, it's close. So any one of these iPads, what about like the iPad mini? Let me see where that one came in on that. Wow, so the A15 and the iPad mini comes in at 10,378. So from a frame rate standpoint, it's almost double what this is. And that's like the iPad mini, and then I can't remember which other iPads have the A15. So the 10th generation, all right, so here's the other one. The 10th generation iPad has an A14. That one came in at $7,807. So this is below the entry-level iPad for graphics performance, at least right now. And I suspect that this score will hold up. So take that for what you will. Now, the other thing I can do real quick is I can pair up my Xbox controller, and we'll maybe do a little Dolphin emulator or something. What do you think? We could do that real quick, maybe? Or just play a game or whatever. Let's see. Let me go into Bluetooth. I'm sure there's a faster way to get at Bluetooth than that, but what the heck. It supports ultra-wideband devices, too. All right, we'll pair up our Xbox wireless controller. All right, we're in. And I think for emulation, I'll do a few extras. And I got to do one other thing here. I got to install the DS file to pull some files off my server. Let me load that in real quick. I'll take some more questions here. Wi-Fi 6. I am pretty sure it is Wi-Fi 6. I can confirm that by checking my Unify access thing here. Let's go to wireless. Let's see here. I believe it is Wi-Fi 6. Let me double check. I should have looked up the specs before I started this. Let's see. Pixel tablet. Yep, Wi-Fi 6, 2x2. Yep, you got the Wi-Fi 6 on there. And thank you, Zuzuri, with the specs. And it does come with the dock, so that's the good thing. Yeah, I'm surprised over that's going to be a talking point too, that Apple supports their stuff far longer, don't they? Because my kids have like really old iPads that are still supported. Although I just installed whatever the current version of iPad OS on my daughter's iPad. She's got like a 6th generation one, and it got flaky after I did the update. And they have a habit of like degrading the device performance when they do those things. And they say it's for, it's because it's all these other things that we're doing. But something doesn't sit right with me on that, to be honest. All right, let's connect to my, oh, look at that, it's already in there, perfect. All right, connect to my NAS here and grab a game or two. All right. And bear with me, folks. I'm just going to grab a game to download here. Let's download that. I got to put it in its own folder because of Android security. All right, there we go. Okay, so we're going to download a game real quick. And then we'll grab in the Google Play Store, look up the Dolphin emulator. And we'll grab the Play Store version just for the sake of expediency. We'll be expedient. We'll do this and I got to run. All right, Dolphin emulator. Why not? We'll help the developers out. Okay, so let's go into, I got to go into my control settings here. And I always screw this up. All right, Android, Xbox wireless controller. Perfect. All right, I got to map all these buttons again. I would like for them, if they do nothing else, to like have some automatic mapping. And it's probably not as big of a deal for other people, but I am constantly installing Dolphin on all sorts of stuff. And I'm constantly having to remap controls every single time. And it's just tedious. All right, C stick, up, down, left, right. And triggers, I have to do the analog. Left, right. Oops. Clear, left. Yes, now it's not reading it at all. Input binding. All right, didn't report on that, but it looks like it's in there. D-pad up, down, left, right. Okay. All right, we're good to go there. Add games. I'm going to go into download in games, use this folder, allow, Burnout 2. How about that? Lickety split. And we'll see how well this runs on here. I think I just want to get rid of the overlay controls. Turn those controls off. Oops. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, let's do a quick jump into the game real quick and see how it performs. I think there's a way to get my FPS counter up here. We'll see how it displays. We'll just get in there and play it for a minute. But it feels like it's performing well. And with that benchmark that we saw, it's enough to run a lot of the basic games like this one. It's a little dark. That seems to be performing just fine. Okay, turn the brightness up. Let's see if we can. Yeah, the brightness is, there we go. Oops, shoot. There we go. Well, that's nice. Yeah, it performs fine. This is Burnout 2. How good of a driver I am. Aren't you all impressed? So, yeah, it's pretty good. I'm sorry, I didn't mean by secure. Yeah, so the Android updates are 3 years, but the updates for the Pixel or the security is 5, which I guess is okay. But still, like, why not do the updates for the whole operating system? I don't know. All right. I guess tablets are different for them, right? But if you think about it, a Chromebook gets all the updates for 8 years, and a Chromebook costs less than this does. All right, so that seems to work. So the performance is good. It's not bad. So there you go. All right, well, I got to run because I've got a meeting to go to in a little while. I got to figure out what I'm going to eat before then. But I want to thank you all for tuning in, and hopefully you found this of interest. And the tablet itself feels pretty good. There's no video output on the USB-C. What I could do, though, real quick, why don't we just do a quick Wi-Fi test here. Let's download the speedtest.net app. And I got to do all the specs on my spec sheet. But the performance feels fine to me. It doesn't feel sluggish at all. It has a very smooth feel to it. Like a lot of tablets, it's kind of oriented in the landscape mode, which is, I guess that's what it is. let's get into the Ookla app here. So, you know, it's not the thinnest tablet in the world. It feels okay. I think my iPads feel a little better, if I'm being honest. All right, so that speed testing is stuck. Let me reboot it here. All right, so let's see how we do. So this is going to be on it's on my Wi-Fi 6 network. And again, I got to adjust stuff. But usually on my iPhones, I get a little more than this. About double that on the Wi-Fi 6. Not bad. I'll play around with that a little bit. And if you want to see how it docks again, I'm guessing the best way to dock it is two-handed. You just have to get it kind of positioned until it locks into place. Oh, it's upside down. You got to make sure it's the right side up. So the camera's got to be oriented towards you, and then it just docks like so. So there you go. Yes, we'll look at Plex playback. I think it's going to do fine with that. One last thing, please. Open 3D Mark and then double tap on the black bar on the left or the right of the app. Okay, so let me do that, and then I got to go. Oh, look at that. You're full of all the gestures there. That's pretty cool. Now I learned something. Excellent. My 10-pound beast has a subwoofer. Yeah, the subwoofers on the laptops don't always sound so great, do they? But there you go. But I'm pleased with the performance. It feels pretty solid to me. It doesn't best an iPad, but nobody's been able to make use of all the performance that the iPad can deliver. So take that for what it's worth. But yeah, not bad. It's fancy. It costs double what you'd pay for the Amazon one, but you got the full Google experience, better performance. But I'll tell you what, that new 11-inch Fire tablet feels pretty competitive. This feels certainly more polished and premium, and you get the dock with it. So that's something. This is a speaker dock too, so it sounds a lot better docked than it does not docked. But I like how you can walk up to it. You know what I think would have been cool is if it would face unlock when you walked up to it. Because if you're in the kitchen getting messy, you may not want to touch it, right? And I think that's their plan. I'm surprised they didn't make a smaller, cheaper one, but maybe that's in the cards for the future. Because I think a little 8-inch one would be killer like this. And the trick is to get it off, you got to lift it from the bottom. So if you lift it from the top, it doesn't come off. It stays on. But if you lift it up from the bottom, that gets it off. It's pretty good magnet. So there you go. All right, everybody. Oops, I got a jet, but thank you all for bearing with me here as we were updating and going through everything. But it looks like, it's funny, now that we're done, the update's over, is complete. So I will rerun the benchmarks to make sure that that didn't impact the performance here. And let's see where the update is. Yeah, we got to restart. But yeah, so I think it's good. Face Unlock will be version 2. Remember, Google had Face Unlock for a while on the Pixel phone. Was it the Pixel 4 had it? It was like some radar system. It was like super over-engineered, and then they went real simple for the follow-up phone. The 5 was like almost a downstep in performance, and they took the Face Unlock off of it. Yeah, they had that fancy radar system. I still have my Pixel 4. It's a good phone. Performs really well. So there you go. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And I want to thank Chromium for your super chat. Much appreciated. Oh, wait, I can do... hang on, I can tag a product now. Let's see how this works. Give me a second here. So if I go in and search for Pixel tablet. Let's see what I get here. You know what's funny is YouTube or Google doesn't have affiliate links for their own products. So I can put this in. If I do this, do I get is this like an affiliate link? So I just put a product in. I can pin a product. Let's see what that does. So I pinned the product. Did anybody see that? What happened when I did that? Let me go and check on my own stream and see what that looks like here. For their own products. So I pinned a product. What did that do? Did that do anything? Does it have a kids mode, Jesse asks? I don't think so. But I'm going to play around with that and see if there is that option. So let me pin that again and see what happens here. Oh, I said, no, maybe I didn't do it. All right, I'm just going to type in test. Product is, oh, I see, so it's in there. Now, if I click on that, it takes me to Target. I don't know if I get an affiliate cut of that, though, do I? This is this new shopping feature that they've added to Google or YouTube. Oh, I see, it's on the top there. I got it. I see. But you know, it didn't, so it pinned the comment, but not the product to the top, at least on the computer version. But it does have multi-user mode, so I'm going to need to add that to the mix also. All right. Got lots of stuff to test out with this thing. All right, well, I'm going to start mapping out my review. I got some more work to do on it, but it's pretty good. Oops. And you got to type your PIN code in after you reboot. That's normal. And then you can use the fingerprint. So what's cool is that you can walk up to it, put your finger on it, and it lets you in. That's neat. All right. Well, thank you all for your viewership and your patience. And I gotta go grab dinner now, so gotta run. But thank you all for tuning in, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye. I hit the right button. There it is. Thanks, everybody.